let's go ahead and get to the end, because this lady right here, this lady, now this is what burns me up, guys. Democrats, black liberals, they, how should I say it? They co-opt. they co-opt a lot of simple-minded black folks to come out and defend their stupidity and their bad choices. They do that. And they platform them, and they send them out there, I guess, to speak on behalf of black folks, to add the element of suspicion to Trump's behavior or his decision by saying, okay, I'm black. Y'all can see, look at these black people behind me. And we're going to talk about all the reasons why this right here is bad for the black community. Now understand, by defending the Democrat Party, what they're doing is they are really hurting the black community, which all of this crime impacts more than anybody else. So these tools come out, and then the fact that they send somebody out here that looks and sounds like this is even more embarrassing. So these black folks out here who don't want Trump to go in and clear up this, mess that's going on, predominantly committed by young black folks, are really trying to let these black kids be sorry. I need y'all to do me a favor. Hit that like button, share my videos. Please make sure you subscribe. Make sure your notification buttons are turned on to all. Subscribe to my alternative channel just in case YouTube give me the slip or something. You'll know how to find me. Don't forget to check me out with all the podcasts and follow me on Rumble and the Jungle. All the links are listed below. If you want to donate to my channel, feel free. Those links are below as well.
The president has been trying to provoke violence here, right here, in the black communities. And in the
what does that even mean? The president right there, this is the spokesman, the leadership. He's trying to provoke violence here, right here in the black community. How do you provoke violence? That's what I understand. The violence is there already. He ain't got to do nothing. But he's trying to provoke violence here, right here, in the inner city. Now, the violence is there already. So instead of trying to stop the violence, no, with her interpretation of this, as she tries to allow these black kids to be sorry, is Trump is trying to provoke the violence. By what? Sending law enforcement in, and their very presence discourages violence. But here she is.
Brown communities, having ICE kidnap our neighbors.
Now what that got to do with this? You can tell she's compromised. You can tell right now, as she goes down the list of Democrat talking points, Democrat topics that they find to be important to them, that ain't got nothing to do with the black community. Here she's talking about ICE. Our brothers and sisters. I'm going, nope. See, I can tell you're a plant. You're here to force black folks to be sorry by all this propaganda. And you're ignorant and your speech is horrible. But nonetheless, here she is now. She's talking about who? What does illegal immigrants got to do with this? And who else?
And having the black community be harassed. And
they sent her out there to combine all of their socialist topics and stuff like that. And that's how you know a black liberal has been severely compromised, because they'll cover stuff that ain't got nothing to do with the black community.
ICE kidnap our neighbors, having the black community be harassed and profiled and want a response.
Want a response? What is that? You see how broken English? At least put a black person out there that can talk. But here she is, want a response and stuff like that. Now, maybe she's not watching all the clips that we see on TV. Maybe she's not looking at who's the demographic that is committing all of this crime. As she sits back and say, you know what, the racial profiling and all this stuff. See, they always use that. But they never are honest enough to say, well, you don't have to racial profile these people, because guess what? We all know they were black. Most of these kids that are carjacking, mugging, fighting are black. But you claim that's racial profiling. Then go ahead and show me all of the video footage of large groups of white kids stomping people, jumping people, and going into stores to rob them. Show me that footage. Balance it out for me. So you're telling me the only footage that we see that's uploaded is when only the black kids do all of these things. Yeah, so for some reason, nobody's uploading all of the video footage of the tons of white kids breaking into stores, out there in the streets acting a complete fool. Show me that, and then maybe you might have a case. But she's claiming it's racially profiling. No, it's addressing reality, addressing the problem. And by you diverting and saying, really all that is racially profiling, what you're doing is you're forcing black people in those cities to be sorry. You're giving them an excuse to be sorry.
We say, hell no, we won't go.
What does that even mean? What does that mean? What do you mean? You're just going to stay right there? Yeah, I mean, are the police going in and teaching everybody trying to tell you to go somewhere? Stupid protesters that don't make any sense. See, this is the folks that they send out there for us on behalf of us to speak for us. No, you don't speak for me. You don't. So first of all, you shouldn't be speaking for nobody. You shouldn't be speaking for the English language the way you're hacking up this statement right here. So the hell no, we won't go. Did they come in and try to displace the black folks in the neighborhood? No? Okay, so what are you talking about? Just something that you think sounds cool and catchy.
When we say we won't go, that means we're not going to those mass incarceration, into their prisons and enslavement.
Get it right. The massacre, the prisons and enslavement. What prisons and enslavement are you talking about? See, show me all the black folks that's rounded up and taken to some imprisonment. Show me the illegal immigrants that are taken to some imprisonment and enslavement. What? See, the Democrats, they send these folks out to embarrass us. They're embarrassing black folks. The imprisonments and enslavement. What enslavement are you referring to?
We won't go into their ICE,
Can't get that mess out? Somebody sent this chick out there on behalf of black people. So now she's talking about issues that ain't got nothing to do with black people. So she's definitely a Democrat plant. They couldn't have picked a better one than this though. At least it could speak. So here she is now trying to refer to alligator Alcatraz, which does not even affect black folks. But here she is.
He called his beautiful.
It's beautiful. Y'all hear that? Beautiful. Beautiful, Eddie. Beautiful. Can't get the Tifo. No, beautiful. His beautiful. What is this beautiful what?
God, we won't go to where alligators live.
There it is. Couldn't get it out. Couldn't get alligator Alcatraz. Just straight up summed it up. We won't go to where alligators live. Oh my goodness. Send in more troops. Okay. You only encourages me to send in more law enforcement to those neighborhoods. So she said, we won't go where those alligators live, y'all. Who's doing that? Who's even going where alligators live? That's my question. And how are you going to stop that anyway? How are you going to stop them from getting sent to alligator Alcatraz? But we won't go. Now, remember, she's supposed to be out there talking on behalf of inner city black folks that's being targeted by Trump's white supremacy and stuff. But now she's talking about alligators living and stuff like that.
Hell no, we won't go.
Dumb. Sounds dumb.
Today we gather to speak plainly about policy path that sounds strong, but in truth, it weakens the very safety we seek.
Okay.
We believe there is a better way to protect us all.
How?
One that respects rights to build trust and keep our communities truly safe.
How?
And that is fascism free.
It's fascism. Y'all hear? That is fascism free. Not fascism. That's fascism. So we're supposed to take the lady that speaks horribly seriously. Now, what is she talking about? And what are you talking about fascism? What are you talking about? Your inner cities. Maybe she's not watching. How about you go in there and call all these young folks to a meeting and stuff and say, y'all cut it out now. Y'all making us look. No, you can't do that. Harsh language doesn't work. A whole bunch of pro-black, the language don't work. A whole bunch of little protesting and saying, hell no, we won't go. Won't discourage those kids from going in and robbing and looting and stealing. That's not working. So apparently Trump's way of working is going to what? Hurt those black kids or force them to either stop committing the crimes or at least protect the folks that aren't the criminals by locking those kids up.
Fear is not a roadmap to safety.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Fear is a huge discouragement. That's right. It's a deterrent. Like I said, didn't want to go to the penitentiary because I saw results. I saw consequences growing up and I said, whoa, man, they done caught this dude finally. That was one of my boys and he was trying to encourage me. He was trying to, hey man, why we still rob this house, man? I'm telling you, they never be home. You robbed it and got caught. Okay, that's what not to do. But here she is. Fear is not an encouragement.
It's a burial.
It's a burial. Y'all hear that? It's a burial. Oh, God. You don't see black conservatives when they come out speaking like this. They ain't going to, nobody screened her burial.
It fails hardest on the black community.
Hardest. It fails harder. Now, is anybody able to actually understand what the heck she's trying to say? I don't know what she's trying to say. It's a bird and the alligators and the heart hurters on the hurt. Okay, wait a minute. And what is all of that on your hat?
That already we bear disproportionate share of civilians.
What but she's speaking like buckwheat. Look at my dove in all the wrong places. Una banana na na. Buckwheat. Man, good grief.
Stops and forces. I want to be clear. We've been here before.
No, you're not clear at all. Yeah, the first couple seconds of your speech, I'm like, what the heck is she talking about? The bit. Speak like that character from Fat Albert. How do you be doing, Fat Albert?
This is a long history. Well before today, the black communities bear the brunt of aggressive policing. Data and reports from many credible organizations.
Now she's reading what the Democrats wrote for, the NAACP wrote for. Read these stats. Come out and say this. Try to make it seem like now we got to go back in history. What they got to do with the crime that these kids are committing today? Now we got to go back to the long history of slavery and then Jim Crow and all of this and this and that. These were black folks who were good citizens who were minding their business, and Democrats wanted to keep them as slaves, and when they couldn't do it anymore, then they harassed them, didn't want to vote. These were folks this was during the time where black folks were prospering. They weren't out there riding motorcycles all in the street. They weren't out there doing donuts in the street with stolen cars, breaking into stores and looting and stuff. They weren't out there doing that. But now they are. So you want them to be sorry. You want to try to go ahead and bubble wrap them from consequences by bringing back the history. See, because that's one of the strategies of the Democrats and these Marxists. Yeah, let's go ahead, use the past the Democrats were responsible for, so that it could deter anybody from dealing with the very present danger that's going on. And by doing that, what you're going to do is end up allowing these black kids to be sorry. And I'm not going to let them be sorry, like you are. Let's continue.
Show patterns. Black people are more likely to be stopped, searched, questioned, arrested, and harmed.
I don't know what that is. Can you finish the statement or word at least? Can you stick the syllable and harm? I don't know harm. Give me an M. M. You got your M. You got your M. Give me it. I can't get one of those. You can't stick the M. Landing. Harm. So now here she is talking about some harm. So now, why? Why is it that these black kids or black folks that might be stopped and pulled over and this and that? Maybe you should look at those crime stats. I mean, I would love it for it not to be the case that black people are responsible for a high percentage of crime. I would love that. So when folks are, you a sellout? No, I'm not. I'm mad at those numbers. But guess what? I'm not going to make excuses for those numbers, because you will never have a solution to that problem if you try to make it seem like the only reason these kids are being interacted with and stuff is not because they actually are suspects or done something that warrant that. It's because they're black and that the cops are racially profiling. If the shoe fits, wear it. If the large amount of crime is being committed in certain areas by certain people, then you have to deal with that. Or the alternative is to let those areas just be sorry. Just forget about it. It's greater than us, far gone. I feel like that oftentimes about Democrat states and cities, often where they say, man, just let it all collapse. But no. Yeah, somebody with some conscience and somebody, with some type of civility got to do something. Okay, because these folks aren't. I guess your solution is let them keep committing the crimes. Because like I said, maybe they'll self-correct.
Encounters with the law. When you have the presence of federal agents or the National Guard to daily life in these neighborhoods, the burden can multiply.
What the heck did she just say? Well, the bad to beat the bus, you could now you sound like Beaker. The birdie. Off the Muppets.
Not by making harm more rare, but making it more visible and more likely to escalate. So be clear, this has been going on.
So the presence of law enforcement in these areas make crime more likely to escalate? The last couple of days this has been taking place, crime has gone down. They are arresting folks. That right there is what makes it go down. Nobody's out there committing carjackings when the police are standing right there. Boy, these people. But they send them out there to make black folks be sorry. And that's why you listen to Kev from Kevin's Corner. Because I'm not going to sit back and make excuses so that black folks can be sorry.
But as you bring more policemen, it's going to escalate.
Yeah, that's going to escalate. That usually happens, right? More policemen and their presence, what makes the crime go up? There you go. Hey, 2 or 3 cops on the street corner right there, and I guess a group of young scholars say, all right, now we look at all those cops over there. Let's go ahead and carjack this person right there in front of all the cops. Now, do you see the ignorance that comes out of these people? This woman right here is being used by somebody, okay, to make folks be sorry, to make excuses for all of this, and to try to go ahead and paint this as racism.
Black Washingtonians have long recognized that community violence cannot be solved through state violence. And if
state violence. So let me understand this lady that's being used. Trump is sending everybody in there to these areas to just straight go in and start committing violent acts against these young people, right? No reason whatsoever. Just go in and start beating them. Just throwing them in jail. Don't ask questions. Nah, don't ask questions to these people. Don't allow them to go ahead and do something that warrants you confronting them. Don't do that. Don't wait for that. Just go in and say, hey, look, there's one over there. Let's get him. Let's round them up. These are the black tools that they send out here on behalf of the black community. It's unreal.
Ask for meaningful investments and solutions that are proven to work.
Proven to work. Show me. Show me where these are community investments that are proven to work. Show me where they're working. In inner city Chicago, out there in LA, and DC, all the black areas that y'all run. Show me where they're working.
Racist over-policing goes beyond DC. As the roots of American
the roots. As the root, maybe this woman grew up with a speech impediment or something. But if you can't pronounce that R, don't say it. The roots. You put a W on the front of roots. The roots. Boy, not only do you send an ignorant black person out there, but one that can't pronounce words. The roots of so let's continue.
Policing in many regions, like enslaved patrols.
Enslaved patrols. Then you go ahead and try to make these connections to slavery, and it just insults anybody with intelligence. It insults their intelligence. Slavery. So you're saying that trying to stop crime from happening, trying to protect often black folks in black neighborhoods from violence is going back to slavery. Roots. I can't say roots. It's roots. Roots. So she wants to go back to the roots.
Have been enslaving and murdering black people with freedom for punishment for centuries.
A bunch of just gibberish. Not only a bunch of gibberish on the fact that her facts and stuff like that makes no sense and has no connection, but it's a bunch of gibberish, literally. Mumbo jumbo, man. I can't understand that. We speak English in this country. We speak American. That's right. I want some American spoken, not no mumbo jumbo, man. And it's an attitude, not a language. But
I stand in front of you today with a signal.
A signal.
To the residents of D.C. and the country. That we will not be idle as oppressive structures try to harm our...
What? Idle as oppressive structures? What is that?
Our communities and take power. The fight for black liberation and the liberation of all people will not stop no matter our oppression, intimidation, manipulation tactics. We have the right to demand respect, to protect ourselves and protect each other.
Yeah. As your neighborhoods are being just, overran with crime, violence, lots of black folks being shot and killed and things like that. And you're talking about protect ourselves from who? Apparently you're not protecting yourself from the black on black crime. So you, I guess, are saying that the patrol, the police and stuff, they're not going to protect you. So what, you got the Black Soul Brothers, you bring back the Black Panthers. Are y'all going to be policing these inner cities and stuff like that? No. So now the police are the bad guys. The ones that's supposed to come whenever y'all call. Because I guarantee you, if something pop off in her neighborhood or her house, even if it's done by a black person, she'll call the cops. Yeah, let a couple young black scholars rob her car. See if she say, I ain't calling the black man. I'm going to let us handle it internally. Yeah, we as the black community should be policing our own. Nope, you would call them and you wouldn't care if they sent the whitest man ever. Almost translucent. I can see through him. He's clear. That's how white he is. But as long as you get my car back, that's exactly what she would be doing. These people burn me up, man. And they clapping for that trash. She thinks she dropped it.
And as the executive director of Hers Rider Strings, I want to name white people's civil rights have never been in danger because they are white.
And your civil rights aren't in danger either. Okay? None of these folks in that area Civil rights. And you know who civil rights are in danger? The law-abiding citizens that are victims of all of these crimes because your party that you support has dummied down the consequences, which allows the citizens to become vulnerable to criminals. But here you are. Yeah, you're talking about civil rights somehow.
The white civil rights represents the desire from the Jim Crow. Full stop.
What this?
And hers Riders' dreams, and as we support Free DC, we'll
free? What the crap? I want them to get somebody out there that's been working on enunciating syllables.
Fighting against mass incarceration, policing, ICE, violence towards immigrants and Muslims, violence in Palestine, worker exploitation.
See, there it is. Go down. Here's what I need you to go ahead and say. Black lady who's supposed to be representing black people. Here, I'm going to list all of the other stupid things of wokeness. And I want you to read it like these are things that black people are actually engaged in and interested in and feel passionately about. That list of crap, I'm going, what is that? That ain't got nothing to do with me. Just read that LGBTQ, I thought that transgender, and that's free Palestine, and then
Asian and more.
Unbelievable. And that's the best they got. These are the folks that they send out there to make black people be sorry. But that's why you come to Kevin's Corner, because I'm not going to let black people be sorry. That woman right there is pretty sorry, though.
There's some kings in the building. Do your fist up and show some respect. There's gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here.